Hi guys, so I wanted to kind of give you an update on kind of how my packing is going, how everything is going at this point. Kind of in the final stages of packing right now. It is less than 2 weeks until I leave. It was 2 weeks yesterday to my flight, 2 weeks today till I arrive in the UK, so really not that long to go. I am starting to run out of time to get this stuff done, so I'm trying now that I'm not working just to get as much done each day as I possibly can. At this point I am finished work, so packing is kind of like my primary focus. It's pretty much all I have left to do, and you know, I still have a few things left to do, but overall I think it's going fairly well. Feels like I do have a lot done. I have a lot of like the big things done. Like what I have left to do is just kind of like little things, so I think it's going fairly well. So when my mom went to England to visit in well, this month, I guess, at the start of the month, she took over my first suitcase of stuff. So some of my stuff is already over there at Mel's house, and I was originally planning on taking 3 suitcases, just all with me on the one flight, because that is the maximum that WestJet will allow, is 3 suitcases, so that was why I kind of aimed to take 3. So now that one is already over there, I'm just taking 2 with me when I leave. Packing my clothes is going fairly well. At this point, I feel like the only clothes of mine that aren't in a suitcase is like stuff that I'm probably gonna wear over the next couple weeks. Like, I have clothes all over the place in this house. In the spare bedroom upstairs, there's a dresser in there where I had some stuff in. I had this big clothing rack outside of my bedroom, which, as you can see, there's just a handful of things on the end there that I might wear. And then I have the actual closet in my bedroom, which still has a few things in, mainly like sweaters and stuff and jeans that I will be wearing over the next couple weeks. As the days go by, I'll kind of slowly start moving stuff from there and into my suitcases. So my suitcase situation is I have 2 suitcases here. One of them is a brand new one that I bought in order to move. It's quite a good quality one. It's a hard shell one, so the actual case itself is a little bit on the heavy side. So I'm trying to balance it between the other suitcase I have, which is a really old one that the lining's all broken, so it's going to go in the bin as soon as I get there and get unpacked. So the other one is smaller, and the actual luggage itself weighs less. So as I'm packing things, I'm trying to put like the heavier items in that smaller suitcase. You know, anything that's got like a zip on it, or just the material's heavy, trying to put it in that suitcase to try and kind of balance out the weight a bit. So these are the suitcases I have. So you can see I've got the smaller suitcase over here, which has got right now a couple vacuum bags on top that I actually need to suck the air out of and throw them inside. I've tried not to use too many vacuum bags, because vacuum bags can actually be a bit kind of misleading. You think you've suddenly got all this room in your suitcase, but because you've got more things, it ends up weighing more. So I've had to be careful with the vacuum bags. I'm basically just using them for like big bulky things, like big sweaters that just don't fold up small. The other suitcase that I have here, this side is already full of stuff. I'm not gonna unzip that. But yeah, that side is completely full. So it's just this side that I have left to put everything in, which I don't think should be an issue. I think I should be able to get it all in there because it's pretty big and quite deep. It's just the weight that's going to be an issue. The weight is kind of what I am like really stressing about, because I am kind of notorious for packing heavy bags. I mean, when you're just throwing in clothes, you don't tend to think of clothes as being that heavy, but then when you add a whole suitcase of them, it adds up pretty quick. Like when I came back from England at Christmas, my suitcase was like way overweight. The first suitcase that I packed from Mum to take over at the beginning of the month, that was way overweight when they got to the airport. So I'm a little bit not stressed about the weight, but I'm really keeping an eye on it. I actually bought a luggage scale specifically so that I could make sure that they're all the right weight. because I didn't want to be super paranoid about the weight. But now I'm like at a point where I just don't trust the luggage scale. Now I'm just kind of paranoid that I'm gonna weigh up the scale and it's gonna say that it's fine and underweight, and then I'm gonna get to the airport and their scale is gonna say something different and they're gonna try and con me into paying excess fees. I'm just paranoid about that happening. I'm also kind of skeptical of that scale because the smaller suitcase that I have, I kind of packed it all up the other day so that it wasn't like full to the brim, but like the lining of it was kind of level with that. You could definitely get more stuff in, but it was fairly full. So I zipped it up, weighed it, and it said it was 9 kilograms, which is way underweight. So now I'm a little bit skeptical of whether that luggage scale is actually accurate. I hope to God it is. I did look on the WestJet app the other day actually, and it says on there that the excess baggage fees are actually like, I think it's at $100 to like $118, which if my suitcase is overweight and it ends up being $100, I'll probably just pay it. You know, probably easier than either taking stuff out and leaving it behind or then having to faff around trying to get it in a box to get shipped over. So if it's that little, probably we'll just pay it. But that seems quite cheap for excess baggage fees. I have a feeling they're gonna turn around and it'll be like $400 or something crazy. I don't know. I feel like they're all out to con me. So that's what's physically coming with me on the plane. And then I have condensed everything that I'm taking down into 2 boxes. You doing this? Being nosy? Are you being nosy? Which is actually pretty remarkable when you consider the fact that I used to live in a 3-bedroom house and I have condensed basically the contents of a 3-bedroom house into these 2 boxes. So these are pretty much full to the brim at this point. Everything that I'm planning on taking is already in here, so these are kind of good to go at this point. I'm gonna leave them open just to throw maybe any clothes or shoes that I need to in here if I don't have the weight in the suitcase for them. But yeah, so I've got all kinds of things in here, and I have like measured them and stuff so that I have a quote from Canada Post, know roughly how much it's going to cost to ship these over to the UK. Again, my only concern with these is the weight. The weight limit is 30 kilograms, which is actually quite a lot, so I don't think this is over 30 kilograms. But I'm just paranoid that it might be. I really can't see it being more than 30 kilograms. But just since I have like no way basically of weighing a giant box in my house, the only way I'm gonna really know how much it weighs is once I take it to the post office. So I'm just a little bit kind of, again, just apprehensive about how much that's gonna weigh, but I don't think it should be an issue. This one's a really small box, so I basically did the same thing with the boxes as I did with the suitcase. Like a lot of the heavier stuff is in the smaller box here, just because I knew it would end up being lighter. So this for sure will be under 30 kilograms, I'm confident. At this point, the one thing that's probably starting to stress me out the most is that I need to renew my driver's license because it expires on my birthday this year, which is at the end of next month after I move. So it's really annoying because I'm going to need that license to drive once I'm over there. Once I'm in the UK, I think it's 9 months to actually change it over. So I can still drive with my Canadian license for a while after I've moved there, so that's like a low priority thing to do. So it's really frustrating that it expires at the end of November. So I got the letter in the mail a few weeks ago now to remind me that it expired, because I would never even have thought of that. Probably I would have, at some point in December, probably looked at my license and been like, oh shit, this is expired. I was planning on going and renewing it next week at some point, I have a hair appointment next Monday, and so I was gonna go and just do it after that while I was already in town. And then I was just kind of randomly looking at the letter this morning, and I remembered that they no longer give you your license on the spot anymore. They have to mail it to you for some reason. And it says here, it will take up to 14 days to get mailed to you. And it is 13 days until I leave. So as soon as I realized that, that stressed me out a little bit. So I'm gonna go tomorrow, hopefully, and get it done, and fingers crossed it will arrive before I leave. If it doesn't, it's really not the end of the world, I guess, because I can just get mum and dad to mail my license to me in England. But it would just be nice to have that in my hand before I leave. So yeah, things are going pretty well right now. Mum and dad are away right now. They're in the States shopping for a few days, so it's just me at home, so it's a good time for me to just crack down, get a lot of stuff done. Yeah, as I said, I just kind of have like little things here and there to do now. So I need to finish packing my suitcase. I need to, you know, just tape up those boxes, print off a shipping label, take them to the post office. I need to take that stuff to get donated. And then I just have a couple things that I need to throw on Kijiji, and I think that's pretty much it right now. So yeah, things are going good. Less than 2 weeks to go, so I'm excited. I'm a little bit stressed about a couple things, but overall it's going well. So you just fart going upstairs, Dad?